Okay, guys, we are just getting to the gym. It is quad day, and I'm feeling it today. I am feeling prep today. So far, see if this will stay up here now. Okay, that's actually not that bad. Yeah, so far today, me and Alicia woke up, went for a walk down by the water as we usually do. Hit a new low this morning of 232.1. So weight is slowly creeping down. Haven't really made any adjustments to the food and training a couple weeks. Took a deload last week, as you guys already know. That seems to have worked pretty well for kind of continuing to push my training. Honestly, my training is going really well. It's just at this point, I've never felt this shitty in a prep. And by shitty, I just mean like I'm dragging my feet here. Training is still going well, still taking progressions here and there on movements, but it's mostly just getting myself up, getting out the door to go for a walk or go to the gym or go get groceries, whatever it is. Anyone who has done a prep before knows that it's the little tasks like that that seem to kind of take the most out of you. You really just gotta, I wake up in the morning and I give myself like a few seconds and I'm like, okay, I gotta get up and get going now. Because if I don't, I know that it's going to set me back for the day, and then I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna ponder about getting up, I'm gonna convince myself that a little more sleep would do me some good, and then I fall behind on my day, and everything's kind of set back. So it's good to have systems and things in place that don't really give you the option to opt out of things. This is also my first prep where I'm full-time coaching, and it is nice, obviously, having the flexibility to coach, and I love my job, but there's a lot of stress that comes with it, and also just running your own business. It's a lot to kind of balance and juggle when you're in prep, because before, when I was just I was doing personal training, or I had a regular job at a clinic, it was just, I literally just showed up to work and I would clock in and clock out. As soon as I left work, my brain was just switched off, and then I could focus fully on my process and my prep. Whereas now, I have multiple clients who are in prep right now. They're all kind of dealing with their own issues, especially people who are newer to bodybuilding, and this is their their first, second prep. There's a lot of mindset and more managing that goes into these athletes and clients, because they just haven't matured in the sport, and it takes some time to realize that you're gonna feel shitty, and you can't necessarily always do what feels good, right? I don't want to go in and fucking train quads right now. My body is very tired, very heavy, but that's part of this. And the thing that I always remind myself of is I only have so many quad days left of this prep. I'm 12 weeks out now, so 12 weeks out from my regional show. There's probably going to be 12 or 13 more quad days of this prep. I got hamstring days as well, but quad days specifically, we're hitting those once a week, right? So I really got to come in and make it count, because every session does matter, and the second that you let your foot off the gas, that's when everything else kind of starts to slip. So day to day, you kind of just need to stick to your systems and structure. When you say you're going to go do your cardio, you get up and go do it. When you say you're going to go train, you get up and go do it. You don't second guess that. And the less thought you put in behind it, I think the easier it gets. And the thing is, with this point where I'm at in prep, I've never pushed this hard this early, so I've never been this lean this early. And it's really when you get leaner that, obviously, you can be hungry, but when you get leaner, that's when you start really dragging your feet, and you become a lot more low energy throughout the day. Your body's just trying to save energy wherever it can. And it feels like you're moving in slow motion, right? And that only kind of comes when you get to a certain level of conditioning. So obviously, being a lean ahead of time makes the prep so much smoother. It's I have no doubt that the suffering that I'm kind of going through now is going to set me up for success closer to the show. It's just a mental battle, because in the past, I guess I didn't expect to feel like this at this far out, so it's a little discouraging. But again, I get the process. I understand why we're doing it, and it's just a matter of continuing to put one foot in front of the other. Trust myself, trust Luke, and just continue to put in the work. So we're going to go in here now, crush quads, and I decided to record today because I just didn't want to be a bitch. And I know that if I go in the gym and record, I'm going to train my ass off. So this is just a little bit more external motivation to kind of push through this training session, because this has been, it's only like 11, but it's been a tough day so far. So let's get in, let's get after it, and get this shit done. Alright, so that is my little warm-up for today on my quad and ham day. Just helps me get a little more activation in my glutes and hams. Just doing a couple little single leg glute bridges, that RDL lunge variation. The thing is too, is getting right into these workouts without properly warming up, doing a little bit of mobility. I find too, it just helps me be intentional with my movements. Like, I'm coming out here on the turf, getting warmed up and stuff like that, and I'm thinking about what muscles I'm trying to activate. And that helps me go into the workout, not just going from fucking sitting in my car sulking to, a top set. So it kind of helps me get my head in the game here. Obviously activate the muscles that I want to be activating, and specifically, my hamstrings, they need the most work out of pretty much anything. So just ensuring that those are turned on, I have blood in the muscle before we get into this, because the first exercise is going to be a seated ham curl. So yeah, you just want to set the intensity, set the intent of the workout right away. I feel like I was intentional with this warm-up, and that's going to carry over into my first exercise and my second exercise. So that's a big piece of advice for you guys, is set the tone for your workout early. That first set is everything, right? Be intentional with the warm-up sets. Don't just breeze through the workout. You're there for a purpose, and you just got to get in and get it done, because like I said earlier, you don't get the opportunity to do this all the time, right? So we got to be grateful for it and make the most out of every session, especially in a prep setting. Okay, so going over numbers for last week. Before I do each exercise today, I'll probably just go over my numbers and sets for last week. So on hams last week, we got 170 for 12, and then a set of 9. And then the third set, we dropped it back to 150 and got a set of 10. So we're gonna try at the very least to match that today. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Okay, so moving on to the hack squat next. Last week we pushed up to 5.5 plates for 6, which was probably biting off a little more than I could chew. But we're gonna try to match it today. We'll see how it feels. I got 4 plates on now, so I mean we'll see how this set feels, and then we'll probably go to 5.5. Then I did a little back off 5 plates for a set of 8. So hopefully we can kind of stick around those numbers. But yeah, we're just gonna push it and see what we can get. Good. One at a time now. Good. Come on, 1 and 2. 3, 3, 3. Come on. We got this one. Hard. Come on. +1. Come on. All right, so. Oh my god. My dumb ass was way too locked in on that top set. Got an extra rep from last week. Jason was here. Jason spotted me and saw it. Yeah, so I mean, that's big for me, especially like feeling the way that I felt today, having done 5.5 plates on this side back squat. For the first time last week, I got 6 reps, taking 7 this week. It was big, so that's a good mental shift for me here to kind of keep pushing. I'll make sure I record my back off set for you guys. I'm probably gonna do 5 plates for that instead of the 5.5 again, because I know that Jason will tell you the last rep, that 7th rep, moved fucking slow. So I think doing 5.5 again would be stupid. So we'll knock it back down to 5, get some good reps in, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But I was literally on my 6th rep, and I was thinking about racking it because it moved slow, and I was like, this is gonna look great for the video if I fucking send this, and whether it buries me or whether I get the rep up, either way it's good content, right? Anyways, didn't even fucking record it, so that's that, but that's fine. We still got, as I mentioned, 13 more quad days left of this prep, so this just gives me motivation. I'll record my next leg day. Hopefully I'll get 8 reps. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I'll record my next hit here for you guys. And after this, we got squat press. We didn't go. Come on. We're doing this one. It's hard. Move up. Good. Good. Hopefully you guys can see me here. Match reps on that second set. which we'll absolutely take after getting extra rep on the first set. This is how hard it should be for you guys to progress. If you're progressing at a faster rate than this, you're probably either sandbagging your workouts, or if you're progressing at a faster rate, we're taking more reps week by week, it's probably a telltale sign that your form is starting to slip a little bit, your tempo is starting to slip a little bit. You need to focus on your rep standardization, because like, when I'm doing this, I'm using so much weight that I need to be so careful with my form and execution, because risk of injury is so much higher, right? So yeah, obviously I'm in prep now, so taking progressions is much, much more difficult. I'm probably gonna be fucking dead for a couple days after this, but my legs gotta grow, and you know, those are just the necessary things you need to do to push your leg growth. But yeah, that's it for hacks. So I'm gonna go give Jason a spot over here now, and we're gonna go do a squat press. Okay, so that's it for the squat press. I said 12 and 10, which puts me at 10. So I matched reps on the first set, lost a rep on the second set, and we got leg extensions next, then adductors. So really, all the hard shit is done now. We're still gonna finish off the quads, empty whatever we got left in them, then finish off with some adductors, and then get the fuck out of here. So. I feel like I'm probably gonna have to talk pretty loud here. I don't have my mics. But made it through the workout. Great workout actually. And now just having a little post-workout meal here. So we got 100 grams of rice, 80 grams of veggies, and 150 grams of ground rice. Gonna crush this and then drive home and probably eat again as soon as I get home because this is going to evaporate in my stomach. Okay, update guys. We have made it back to the car and I don't feel like a complete bag of dicks right now. So that goes to show you when you're not feeling up to it and you don't feel great, the gym is always gonna help. So yeah, honestly, it was funny. I was talking to Quentin in there and me and him were chatting last night and I was just dreading this workout today. Had a rest day yesterday, went to the mall, moved around a lot, was pretty tired, and just was anxious about training quads today because I know how hard that I push myself when I train quads, and I know it fucking sucks. So I'm always thinking about like how much is gonna suck. But again, shifting mindset to not how much is gonna suck, but just having the opportunity to go in, be healthy, crush legs, hopefully elicit a little hypertrophy, a little growth in there. And yeah, so feeling much better after the workout and after having a meal in there, obviously, as well, that helps. Probably gonna get home and feel like shit again until I eat. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's Monday. I don't have many check-ins today. Just a couple of my competitors who I have checking in multiple days a week now that are checking in on Mondays. So I'm hoping when I get back it's going to be a pretty chill work day. Just kind of make some content, clue up a few things, but no real sit down, lock in on check-ins for hours and hours. So that is good. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Oh, it's funny. I was leaving the gym. One of the guys in there came up and asked me what show I was doing, and he was like, "Oh, like, you know, if you could say, you know, I know people like to keep it a secret." I find it so funny when people are in the amateur ranks and like they don't want to tell people what show they're doing. It's like, who what do you think, you're fucking Dorian Yates? Like, it literally doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. It's whoever's going to show up to the show is going to show up. And I hate when people are like selective with the shows that they pick because certain people are going to be competing there. Like, if you can't just like dominate at a regional level, I don't know what makes you think that you're going to do well on a national level, you know? So I find it funny when people are picking and choosing, ensuring that they get their qualification, like going to a smaller show just so that they can get to nationals and then shit the bed. You know what I mean? So my suggestion is just block out all the noise. Don't look at what anyone else is doing. Look at your timeline, and that's what you should be doing if you want to be successful in bodybuilding, is looking at your timeline and picking shows that line up best for your season and your timeline and your schedule, right? Depends what stuff you got going on in your life. But I mean, ideally, you set yourself up with plenty of time to prep, 20 to 24 weeks minimum, and then just kind of cruise through it, right? Don't just pick shows because, don't cut yourself short and like pick an earlier show or jump in an earlier show because so-and-so is not going to be doing it, and like, you can come out with the win, blah, 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 blah. Hate that shit. So that's my rant. If you guys are at the amateur level, I think even at the pro level, it's just there's a certain, when people are like trying to hide what show they're doing or being secretive and mysterious about, oh, I'm X weeks out, it's just weird, man. Like, you're an amateur bodybuilder, just like go compete, show up at your best, and fucking move on. Another thing, while I have energy here and while I'm on my little rant, nothing, and I mean nothing, pisses me off more than when somebody, and I've seen people do this, and someone did it recently that I follow on Instagram. He's a big coach. He's been in bodybuilding for a long time. And, he went to a regional show around here.
very experienced, been around for a long time, great physique, and then, you know, he goes into the show, sweeps the show, and then makes a post being like 80% was enough to get the job done. It's like, how do you think that makes the other competitors feel? You're a veteran in this sport. You coach other athletes who are probably first-time competitors. If your athlete lost to another guy at that show and he went on Instagram gloating about like, oh, I was only at 80% and it was still enough to sweep everybody, and it was still enough to sweep everybody, how do you think that's going to make them feel? It just diminishes all the work that they put in over so many weeks that you can come in not at your best and still beat them. It's just like, you know, if you win the overall, that is phenomenal. Congratulations, but take your win, pat yourself on the back, and move on. Like, you don't need to be like, oh, I was only at 80%, I still beat everyone. Like, that doesn't do anything. It just gives you, it puts such a bad taste in my mouth. Such a bad taste in my mouth. I lose respect for you immediately. And like, warm-up show or not, I don't care if you're doing a bigger show afterwards. I don't care if you're testing some peak. That's between you and your coach. Nobody else needs to know that, right? You know, so anyways, that's my rant. Hopefully this was a good workout for you guys to watch. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. So I will see you guys in the next video. I appreciate the support on this prep so far. And, you know, if you guys are watching these videos, just leave a like, subscribe. I enjoy making these videos, and I'm going to fucking make them anyways, probably. But if the videos are doing better, I'm getting more likes, I'm going to put more money and more time into making these videos and making them better for you. And hopefully, I'll be able to hire a full-time videographer to come record content and, you know, provide more entertainment and value for you guys. So yeah, that's going to be it. I'll see you guys in the next one.